Hello everyone, this is Darren from Ravenblack. I'm excited today to talk to you and show you something that we've been working on. This is going to be a quick 5-minute introduction to the brand new Ravenblack Dynamic Widgets. And in a nutshell, Ravenblack's Dynamic Widgets provides the ability for widgets in Content Server Smart View to be, well, dynamic. So the level of personalization that can be done today in the Smart View has grown extensively over the years. So from its initial inception from 2016 through to now, a lot of the R&D and investment in the Smart View has been getting all the different pieces of core content server and extended ECM close to a feature parity with the classic UI, but also focusing on the user experience moving forward. So that being said, over the years, there have been lots of attempts to get as much of the user needs in the Smart View as there exists today in the Classic View. So even today in the Smart View, we see with every release a little bit more functionality being added to allow configuration and tailoring of the Smart View. We were fortunate to be part of the team that helped develop the idea of perspectives with the Smart View with the initial release back in 2016. And as owners of web reports, we developed some web reports and content intelligence widgets because we knew that that would be a key piece of adding custom content and the overall configuration of custom perspectives for organizations trying to move into the Smart View. So with all this in mind, we have the ability to create perspectives tailored to users. There's different types of static data widgets and interactive widgets out of the box that allow for configuration. And we also have web reports widgets that allow us to create custom content. But even then, even talking to customers over the years, we knew that there were still substantial gaps preventing organizations and content server customers from fully embracing the content server Smart View. So that being said, the Smart View is very powerful and has come a long way. But for the challenges we're trying to solve, I can pretty much summarize them just in the standard landing page perspective that we see with the Smart View. So first challenge number one, is that some widgets are static. And that's okay. So something like the shortcut widget, it just does one thing and one thing only. And just like the other widgets, as we'll see, this is taking up quite a lot of real estate on the page to do one thing. So it's a link, it's useful, but it takes up quite a lot of space, and the widget itself doesn't do anything else. Challenge number two is that while some widgets are useful and probably something that we would use day to day and throughout the day, something like recently accessed, my assignments, these do have some level of interactivity. We can expand them into a more workable view of these objects. But again, if we wanted to use these widgets sometime during the day, but not all the time, we have to see them every time we come to this particular perspective. And then finally, just in terms of the way that the layout is presented, that is static as well. So for the landing page, for example, this good afternoon Darren widget, this hero tile, is taking up a quarter of our layout. And this may be something we would only want to ever see once, acknowledge it, and maybe leave it out of the layout of this perspective every other time we come back here now. We've seen the information, it's useful, but we don't need to view it anymore. So acknowledge it, view the content, and then move on. And so here enters Ravenblack Dynamic Widgets. Our Dynamic Widgets introduces a completely new and different widget platform for the Content Server Smart View. What it does is it introduces widgets that deliver custom and tailored content in the Smart View, but in a way that it's designed more closely to the Smart View architecture. So that means that the way in which the custom content is delivered in the Smart View is designed so that it behaves, that it feels natural, as if it was designed to work optimally in the Smart View architecture. So it provides a completely new and easy to use API. So it's API driven, that is easily accessible via JavaScript, and it adds movement and flexibility that has not been available before. And it does it in a way that is native to the Smart View architecture itself. So it's not a hack, and we're not replacing pieces of it or adding complexity and complex layers to the Smart View framework. So for users, what this means is that they get a powerful Smart View perspective that can reveal and show the information that they need when they need it. So for users, this means that they get a powerful new perspective that can reveal and show the information that they need when they need it. So a very simple keyboard shortcut in this case, very easy to implement, and it brings up a custom search for this user that's based on what they need to do in that moment. So they get the information, the content that they need when they need it, and they can also hide it when it's not necessary. So users get to move through the content server Smart View in a way that it feels natural and intuitive to them because it's designed for them, and it's done so in a very natural way because it's using the content server Smart View architecture. Perform the job that you need to do, see the information when you need it, and when you're done, hide that away, out of sight, out of mind, move on with the rest of the jobs to be done for you today. Now, of course, having these dynamic widgets really means nothing if they're impossible or really difficult to configure and use. We want to make developer experiences as easy as possible while delivering the most powerful impact possible through their development effort. That is exactly the design principle here. So we have removed the need for developers to understand the Smart View framework. We have removed the need for developers to use the Smart View SDK. And instead, we have delivered a JavaScript API where all of these widgets can interact with each other. They can talk to each other. They can deliver new content dynamically within each other. And this is all delivered via this SDK that when you use the JavaScript functions within just standard web reports, we get the dynamic widgets. So really the sky's the limit here in terms of how we develop, and basically we get to rethink how users are using the Smart View. But again, we're doing it in a way that is natural to the Smart View framework and architecture and plays nicely within it.